Hi there, my name's Emily. Really lovely to see you. I want to talk to you about the mother threads and really where it's come from for me and where it's going as well. You've probably seen me talking about motherhood and mothers, and there was many strands that I was kind of carrying. One of them was as a Senko, previously in a previous life I was working as a special needs coordinator, working really closely with parents, mothers mainly, and their navigations of their children in school or not. And the way that what was coming up very strongly for me was there was all these diagnoses and issues around the children who were coming through, and my soul, my intuition was just screaming, this is a soul issue. This is absolutely a soul issue that's coming through the ancestral realm. And I was exactly right with that. And then when I did my shamanic practice training, when I was really connecting with that, and shamanism and shamanic practice is really about honouring the sacred processes of nature. And then I really understood where my instinct was coming from in terms of the mother. And in shamanic practice, the mother is so important. The role of the mother, the role of the goddess. And when I say goddess, I connect with the energetic essence of the earth, so Mother Earth energy. And if you think about kind of our projections on love, where love and nurture comes from, you've got the earth, which is through being held, through being fed, through being loved, through the energies of the earth, and that that mirror in motherhood as well. And that's why motherhood and the healing of the earth are so deeply connected. So today I want to talk about 3 things which they're kind of like misconceptions, if you like, about motherhood. And I certainly fell into these traps myself, about motherhood is a rite of passage. It's a spiritual rite of passage where you from becoming a woman, you then become a mother. And this has huge changes in your nervous system, your spiritual body, and your physical body. And in our culture at the moment, the physical aspects are really recognised, but what's really significant is that we have really high incidences of mothers struggling with their emotional health. And I really think that I feel this so strongly, that this is an indicator, not that the process of motherhood is traumatic, not that there's an extra weight, there's an extra responsibility, and this is what's causing this. I don't feel that. I feel that the lens by which the mother sees the world shows the isolation and disconnect, reveals ancestral patterns that haven't been seen before, reveals emotions and opens the heart and soul to aspects that have not been felt previously before becoming a mother. And that overwhelm, that kind of like, it's all soul guidance, it's all preparing you for what you need to hold the vessel to become that empowered mother. And rather than kind of like closing with fear around those feelings and that those awarenesses, which is kind of the instinct, I would invite, if that's something that you've experienced or you're experiencing, you to open to those feelings, open to those awarenesses, because they're the gifts of our ancestors to show us what we're carrying in our ancestral lines, and they're also indicators of what threads we're carrying as mothers. If it becomes very painful to listen to children crying, if it becomes very painful to connect with a child, it's in that awareness that something's there for us, and being able to follow that soul's journey and really follow the threads that we're carrying. Okay, and that's what the mother thread is about, really knowing very uniquely what is it that I'm carrying as I'm parenting my inner child and my child, so that we can overcome this together, so that we can heal this together. And that's why a circle is so important, you know, because it's not, sometimes things are felt energetically and they're not known, you know, and then we can really tune into actually energetically what is happening, what is the trigger, what's the emotional charge around these things. And the other kind of myth around motherhood that I'd like to, so the first one is kind of like, it isn't a crisis, is what I'm saying. It's an opening, an awareness, okay, and it's a lens, and I think that's a really helpful way to look at it, okay. And the second thing is kind of like the idea of kind of getting your body back to normal, getting your life back to normal. That isn't the way. You've grown, you've opened, you've expanded your awareness in all of your senses. This is about embracing this expanded, embodied version of you into the world, and presenting yourself as a mother. You know, it's not being ashamed that there's anything kind of lacking, that you're now responsible for children, and your heart is sewn into that beautiful tapestry of motherhood. That is something to embrace. So it's like welcoming yourself into each new arena, even with your partner. I am a mother now, you know, and that's a celebration, and honouring, to be done for yourself first. You know, it's not about, I'm just going to have this incredibly massive experience and then suddenly shrink myself into my previous self. That's not going to happen. Okay. And the third aspect is about, is again through the lens of motherhood. It's kind of like you will look at different situations in your life, decision making on a small and a massive scale, and really trust that lens of motherhood. You know, it's my belief that, you know, when mothers are able to make decisions, sovereign decisions for themselves and their children really hear the loving voice of the mother, and the emotional threads, the tenderness, tune into their own hearts, it teaches the children to tune into the tenderness within, to look into their own hearts and not cut off from that. And that's been a pattern, that's a thread that many of us are carrying. So yeah, this kind of like, it is a lens, it's a wisdom, and, you know, asking yourself now, you know, what decisions could be made through this lens of motherhood, and just visualizing that on a much bigger level, and what healing can be done, you know, globally, intergalactically, energetically, when we look at the world, when we feel the world as mothers, you know, because we're all connected. And so rather than kind of outsourcing and being disconnected from this source of love, the difference is that mothers are carrying this love within us now. We're holding love now, and we can make decisions differently. And knowing that that seed is so important to be sown into the world and into the healing of the world as well. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. I come to the mother threads, the circle holding, as a healer. I am a healer. I'm a shamanic healer, and my circles are small, and they are tender spaces of safety. This is the holding. There are many circles being held. Mine is a small, tender, safe circle of holding and healing. Okay, and it's really important for me to express my intentions in that. You know, that's really crucial for me to really know what energy I embody in that space. Okay, so if that is something that you're interested in, I would love you to connect, because I don't want you to be alone. And if this video helped you in any way, I'd love to know how. Yeah, because this reframing of motherhood, I feel, is so healing for us all. So much love, and yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what's coming. So yeah, I hope you can join me in that. Lots of love.